As Paul Marcus approached the Isle of Ponareya Harbor in a 40-foot sailboat, he removed his sunglasses, glanced up at the surrounding hillsides, never able to shake the feeling he was being watched. Paul, mid-40s, brown hair and eyes as blue as the surrounding Mediterranean Sea, smiled at his wife Alicia and 4-year-old son David. They sat in the cockpit as Paul adjusted the throttle and steered for the boat slip. Alicia's hair was pulled back in a ponytail, high cheekbones, tanned skin. She stood, watched the distance narrow between the boat and the long dock. "The tide is up at least a foot since we left 2 hours ago," she said, looking back at her husband. The air was briny and smelled of oyster beds and blooming bougainvillea. "Look!" said little David, curly dark hair tousling in the wind. He pointed to a ragged fishing boat coming into the harbor, a flock of squawking gulls dipping and diving above it. The old boat resembled vessels from a 1,000-year lineage, high bow, short wheelhouse, and a large cockpit. Blue smoke puttered from the single diesel. 2 brown fishermen readied spring lines as the seasoned captain eased the boat up to the dock. A few tourists watched, eager to see the catch. Alicia turned to her son. "David, stay here with Daddy. I'm going to help tie up the boat." "Can I come?" he said with a toothy smile. "Please?" "Okay, but hold my hand." He grinned as he stepped with his mother along the side of the boat and up to the bow. Paul watched them, slipped his sunglasses back on, and looked toward tourists debarking from a hydrofoil ferry boat 100 feet away. He watched closely, looking for anyone that seemed to be observing his family beyond the inquisitive gaze of a tourist. One of the dockhands, a teenage boy wearing khaki shorts and a blue T-shirt with the words Marina de Ponareya, came running down the long dock. He signaled for Alicia to toss the rope to him. She made sure David stood behind her and then threw the end of the rope to the teen. He grabbed it and pulled hand over hand to help secure the boat. He quickly tied the rope to a dock cleat. Alicia placed a rubber bumper fender to one side, keeping the sailboat from touching the dock. Paul cut the engine and tossed one of the stern ropes to the teen. As he tied the rope, he asked in a heavy Italian accent, "Did you have a good sail?" "We did," Paul said, reaching in his wallet for a euro note. He handed the teen the money and said, "Grazie." "No problema." The teen pocketed the money, nodded, and hustled to another dock where a 60-foot azimuth cruiser was approaching. Alicia turned to David and said, "Let's help Daddy close up." "Okay." He followed his mother as she began securing the sailboat. Paul set his sunglasses on the console, adjusted 2 more rubber fenders, glancing at the ferry boat. Alicia approached him and touched his arm. "You're so relaxed at sea, but as soon as we come into the harbor, I can see the tension build in your face. Paul, it's been 5 years. We'll be fine." She smiled. "I know, but I also know these people have a long memory. You and David mean too much to me to ever let my guard down."
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.